All right, Brian. It is a nice quiet cockpit. Let's get this show on the road. Battery guard dropped. IRS is aligning. Right. Let's go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and start the APU. One, two, three. Logo lights are on. Steady position light, anti-collision wing and wheel. Our initial reference, next page here, GPS, and paste that in there. We're going to go to route, flight planning, and download our flight plan. And load. We'll activate that much. We're going to look at things. I'm going to go departure. Let's look at our Navigraph. Knock off some things here. Actually, I'm going to start over on this. I had a lot open earlier. Alright, we're going to load. I'm loading Navigraph on my tablet. 2-1 right is our departure. Kalen 3 Smulov. Alright, see one there. That's good. Kalen 3 Smu. And then arrival will be, if all goes as planned, ILS 12 right. And we'll come in on Killer Comma. We're going to go and do our airside services, and let's load our flight plan. And I see our good news, by the way, and we'll talk more about this on another video, and that's my 777-200 is operational. Woohoo! Okay. Alright. We've figured out how to get it working. Okay. Let's go ahead and...
Flight attendants, prepare for takeoff, please. And starting refueling.
And flight directors are up.
Okay, the cabin is secured.
And
have a good
auto
flight.
Throttle is up. Brian asked for our IFR clearance, please.
I can't handle that right now. You need to pick up the IFR clearance yourself.
Brian, please request IFR clearance.
I'll request our IFR clearance now, Steve.
Not sure what was going on there. Also, let's go do our.
Vicinity of airport. Flight inspection aircraft operating in the vicinity, expect minor delays. Advise on initial contact you have information pop-up. Detroit Metropolitan Wayne County Airport, information pop-up.
Departure Sun Country 1906. We're ready to receive our IFR clearance, and we have Papa.
Sun Country 1906, Detroit departure, cleared to Minneapolis via the KLM 3 departure, then is filed. Climb and maintain 17,000. Expect flight level 32010 minutes after departure. Departure on 125.525 squawk 5224.
Ground to flight deck, fuel is all loaded up and you are good to go.
Sun Country 1906, Detroit departure, cleared to Minneapolis via the KLM 3 departure, then is filed. Climb and maintain 17,000. Expect flight level 32010 minutes after departure. Departures on 125.525, squawking 5224.
Sun Country 1906, read back correct. Ground is on 132.725. Safe flight, sir.
Oh, well, our reserves, by the way, are 2.5. Our planned burn is 9.3. Our climb is fine. Flaps are going to be 5. Center of gravity is 27.1. So that's 4.5 on trim. Okay. Our winds are from 207, 13 knots. Flex is 3-4. V2 is 146. Let's walk through this, make sure there's no discontinuities. There, we got one there. From Smooth to Kalen, we have a in there. Let's knock that off. There's a vector there for Zesty, so I'm going to take the vector out. I don't think I need it. I can always they still may vector us. That's not out of the question. Brian, you're in charge of all comms.
I'm now in charge of comms, Steve.
And QNH is 2908. Brian, get our pushback and start clearance.
Ground to cockpit.
Requesting
Please
pushback
show
and
me
start
where
clearance
you
now.
wanna go. Ground to cockpit. Tow is driving out.
So ground, Sun Country 1906, Sun Country 1906. We're ready for pushback and start with information, Papa.
Sun Country 1906, Metro Ground, pushback and start approved, tail east.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect. Tow connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake. Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
Okay, let's go ahead and first off, turn some heat on the windows and engine 2. Engine 1. For a flap setting of 5. It's 3 clicks. Engines to continuous.
Operation complete. Go ahead and set the parking brake.
Engine buses are on. APU is off. Probes are on. packs are set to auto. APU bleed is off. Cabin pressure is set to 320. Landing doesn't have to be set yet. We're good. And yaw damper is now on. Taxi light is on, and runway lights are on, and position strobe is set to just that strobe. Okay. Ron, could you request our taxi clearance, please?
Requesting taxi clearance now.
Metro Ground, Sun Country 1906, ready to taxi. We have Papa.
Sun Country 1906, runway 21 right taxi via Echo Kilo Yankee Bravo Victor Victor 2 Victor Mike Mike 6.
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
Runway 21 right, Echo Kilo Yankee Bravo Victor Victor 2 Victor Mike Mike 6, Sun Country 1906.
Tow is disconnected and bypass bin has been removed. Hand signal on the right. We'll see you next time and have a safe flight.
departing from runway 21 right. We'll be flying the KLIN 3 departure with an initial climb clearance to 17,000 feet. Transition altitude is 18,000 feet. After takeoff, we'll follow the SID profile. Weather at departure shows no significant weather expected en route. In the event of an engine failure below 400 feet, we'll continue straight ahead and follow ATC instructions. Above 400 feet, we'll follow the engine out SID procedure, climbing to 3,000 feet before turning back. For any abnormalities or emergencies before V1, we'll reject the takeoff and apply maximum braking. After V1, we'll continue the takeoff, handle the emergency, and communicate with ATC. We have been cleared as filed. Squawk code is 5224, and departure frequency will be 125.525. We're configured for takeoff with flaps 5. V1 is 142 knots, VR is 147 knots, and V2 is 152 knots. We'll climb out at V2 plus 10 knots. I think we're ready to go, Captain.
Approaching runway 21 right.
We've got one incoming right now, so we're gonna wait. Runway turn off, lights are off, landing lights are on, taxi light is still on, engines are set to continuous, anti-skid is set to RTO. We are configured. Rock and roll. And we've got one that's 2 miles on final. Question is, so are they going to the other runway? Let's wait. Let's just wait them out. It's not going to hurt anything. Yeah, I think they might be touching down over there. Alright, we're good. Reset chronos. Brian, please get our takeoff clearance.
Requesting takeoff clearance now, Steve.
Metro Tower, Sun Country 1906, holding short of runway 21 right, ready to depart.
Sun Country 1906, Metro Tower, runway 21 right, winds 200 at 13. RNAV SAMs cleared for takeoff.
Runway 21 right, RNAV SAMs cleared for takeoff. Sun Country 1906.
About 40% right now. Good. So, lined up. Hit N1.
On runway 21 right, remaining 8,100 feet.
1000.
Sun Country 1906, contact departure on 125.525.
Yeah, welcome aboard, Bicycle. Hope you're having a good day. Yeah, it's doing very well.
Switching to departure on 125.525. Detroit departure, Sun Country 1906. Good afternoon, climbing through 2000.
Flaps retracting.
Sun Country 1906, Detroit departure, radar contact, climb and maintain 13,000, turn left heading 215, vectors to SAMS, then on course.
All is going well here. It's just been a good day. Been a good day.
Climb and maintain 13,000, left heading 215, vectors to SAMS, then on course. Sun Country 1906.
We're on the climb. We're at 6,000 on the climb.
Sun Country 1906, direct SAMS, then is filed, please.
We're already direct to SAMS, but we'll do it again. We're on autopilot, we're on VNAV, LNAV, and so I have some great news, and I had given up on my 777-200. Okay, well, Fashizzle, where my system came from is it is a ABS gaming system from Newegg. And my system's not old, not terribly old either. It's like
climb and maintain flight level 240.
I'm at about 2 years old. I'm running a GeForce RTX 4070 card with GPU. Works great. 64 gigs of RAM, which I added 32 more after I got it. It came with 32. And I'm running an i9 Intel processor in this system. I play off of a 2 terabyte SSD drive, and I have a secondary SSD drive of about the same size for storage, and so that's kind of my setup. But Newegg has some good systems. Now I'll say this, yeah, what did it cost a little bit for the system? Yes, but I think I did get a good deal at the time, a good special on my setup. But that was, like I said, we're at 2 years ago. We're almost, no, not quite 2 years, but it's been about a year and a half or two that I've had this system. And it's really, it's done me well. In fact, if you look in the bottom right of the screen, you'll see a shot of it.
Sun Country 1906, climb and maintain flight level 270.
Climb and maintain flight level 270, Sun Country 1906.
I have a Logitech with pedals, Logitech yoke with pedals, and with the throttle. You can see the throttle in the shot now. But I'm also, I also have a radio. Now, something else I have here that you don't have to get this. This is, spend some money if you want. But cut those off. Okay. I do have an MSD set up here for that's for the 737, and which I purchased. But I mean, they're not cheap. They're not cheap. In terms of the monitor I'm on right now, this is just an LG widescreen monitor. Facebook Marketplace, and is all you need to get a monitor that size and that clear. And I even bought a second one that I have at church, over my church right now. Works great. That is an actual 737-800 panel. This is made by a special company. Yeah, the monitor, it's a nice size. It's not wall size, but it's just a nice size monitor. Works well for me personally. And I used to have 2 other ones. I would have one to the left and one to the right, and like almost like you were immersed. But when you start doing things like that, the problem you run into is that you're starting to eat up your GPU. I don't care how fast your GPU is. That's a lot of processing for 3 screens. So I went back to just 1 screen. I'm very happy with it. Something else I have too also that I picked up. This was not like an expensive purchase, but is the radio, the actual radio, which is I have out here too. The the captain's cap is compliments of my brother for my birthday. So it was he found one on eBay. So I think Xplane came out with a new update today, and I am petrified to update at the moment because I just got my flight factor 777-200 working again after having GPU
Good afternoon, 17,000 for flight level 300.
Not being able to fly.
1906 Cleveland Center, good afternoon.
Ever since I did a fresh load of flight factors 777 is working awesome. In fact, I look forward to doing a flight with it shortly, probably maybe this evening, but I don't want to go back. Yes, so the Zibo 737-800, this is the only thing about this panel. It works with that's the 737, and it also works with the level up, but that's it. The 737 it just doesn't work with anything.
Sun Country 1906, climb and maintain flight level 320.
flight level 320, Sun Country 1906.
Right, and transition to standard on QNH and our altimeter, we're good. But this panel here, by the way, is made by, I probably think we've got it in my, it's called Cockpit Sims, Cockpit Simulator. But it's this one here, the actual panel. But let's just put it this way: I think they can start at $600 for just that one panel right there. Then here's the problem with that: it's great if it's on the fly, but if you fly a variety of aircraft, then it's not really I don't know. It just depends. Depends on how much you give me a 737-8 model. It works on the 737-8 and level up 737 series, but it just really depends on what you're using. But nice. Like I will say, it's a nice big simmer. Then yeah, it's a very nice panel. It's basically what you're looking at here. You're seeing the screen. The screen in front of me. It's the same thing. Miles outside of our destination, which is Minneapolis, St. Paul. Yeah, the monitor, by the way, this monitor, honestly, I knew it was big. Well, it was big. A lot of people see it. And it is a good size, but it's just a wide screen. In fact, what you're seeing actually in your frame right there, you're noticing it cuts off, but you're not seeing a large portion of the left and the right missing some of what you're looking at. It's very wide. It works well for me. Yeah, I basically I don't look at. I'm not one of the ones that will turn around and end up building a cockpit from the ground up, going to that elaborate level. But I just like having a nice place to sit and to sim. But I don't ever see myself going to the level of some of the guys out there that have created some pretty amazing things. I don't see myself doing. The brunt of my expense was the system itself. I think this is my yoke was a Logitech. This is a Logitech yoke with pedals at my feet, and the throttle pedal. Actually, the throttle. I take that back. The throttle here came separate. I may have came separate.
How's it go?
Separate. But everything seemed to fit well together. Most everything I get through Facebook Marketplace though. I will not go to the major, like some of the other places online and purchase off Amazon unless there's just no other way to get it. I will do it. I just prefer to try to be as frugal as I can, as expensive as things can get. Something, I'm just an old computer guy from the past that I do have that you don't see is I have a backup battery backup that will continue to power the system for an extended period of time just in case we ever have a power failure, so I don't lose something. So that I went a little overkill there.
Sun Country 1906, contact Chicago Center on 128.4.
2973 arrival.
Chicago Center, Sun Country 1906. Good afternoon at flight level 320.
Elevation's 842.
Sun Country 1906, Chicago Center. Good afternoon.
Elevation's 842 feet. And let's see. We're gonna probably put our altitude on 3,000 and it will manage its way down. So right now we're at 32,000. Put this on 3,000. Okay. We're not going down right now, just I'm setting everything up. We now want to go to descent forecast to see if you can see if the winds are available. And we're 311 miles, 310 miles from top of the descent. So we're good. Tanks are exhausted. Okay. And braking. I'm gonna put this on 2. Check something here. while we're at cruise, I'm getting coffee. Real coffee, not the coffee that the flight attendant brings me. 223 miles from top of ascent. Like that. I just, by the way, what I just figured out is I have the web FMC, so I've got my iPad with my information on the flight. It's kind of cool. I think I can do it on several things here. So that's cool. So I can do it on my phone, put the FMC on my phone with this web FMC plugin, or I can do it on the iPad, which makes it a lot larger and easier to interact with without having to look down. It's awesome. It says I have a problem with the scenery package at a certain location. I'm good with that. We'll just keep going. Chicago Rockford International. Osman. I don't care. Good. I think that what that has to do with, I'm just have to figure that one out. I've got this, but then I've got the Navograph. Okay. We just come over the water. I'm not sure what is off. Figure it out though. It's a nice airport. been a good flight, by the way. It's the air's good up here right now. Good. Something about having the larger screen, I think, what you noticed, Fish, is you can, like when I'm streaming, you can't see, if I like put something in the margins over to the left or right, it's like my private space. I can actually have, like, that's how wide the screen is. It's very wide. Uh, 179 miles from top of descent. Good flight, by the way, guys. Alright, let's go ahead and set up for arrival. Looks like we're going to have flaps set to 40 at 144 knots. Frequency is 110.30 and 121.
Sun Country 1906. Contact Chicago Center on 121.375.
Switching to Chicago Center on 121. Chicago Center, Sun Country 1906. Good afternoon at flight level 320.
Sun Country 1906, Chicago Center, good afternoon.
Right, 110.30, 121 for the course directors. And we're good. thing I was prone to do when I first started flying the commercial jets, especially at night, was to descend too early. And it took me a while to really dial into top descent and really trust the aircraft. And it's been such a nice thing ever since. And it works well if you just follow it. It does fine.
Sun Country 1906, contact Minneapolis Center on 124.4.
Switching to Minneapolis Center on 124.4. Sun Country 1906. Minneapolis Center, Sun Country 1906. Good afternoon at flight level 320.
Sun Country 1906, Minneapolis Center, good afternoon.
Killer 4 to 7000, Gamma transition into Minneapolis. Altimeter 2973, Sun Country 1906.
I just started the descent from the my iPad using the Web FMC app. You really need that app to run. I really like that. We've already got the arrival information loaded. Frequencies are set. Of course, directors, heading director. Of course, headings are correct. Right, do the descent and approach briefing.
We're arriving at Minneapolis on runway 30 right using the ILS approach. We'll be flying the Killer for arrival. Transition level is 8,000 feet. After the star, we'll intercept the ILS to runway 30 right. Weather shows winds 110 at 5 knots, scattered clouds at 7,000 feet. In case of a missed approach, we'll follow the published procedure. Squawk code remains 5224. Approach frequency will be 125.52. 5. We'll configure for landing with flaps 30. Final approach speed will be 135 knots. Taxiing to Terminal 2, Gate 10. Ready for the arrival, Captain.
All right, let's rock. I've rediscovered the Web FMC plugin, which I got from the Xplane store a while back. It just stopped working one day, and I realized it's working on it. I think there's an update out there I need to pull down. We already have our landing elevation set in the FMC. Not the FMC, but the aircraft. Everything's set. great shape. Brakes to VREF 40 plus 5 is 148 knots. Great. Having to help it along. I've bumped us up to 1,700 feet per minute. At 1,000 feet per minute, it was not working. We weren't going to hit our marks. H2973. Altimeter transition to 2973 from standard.
Sun Country 1906, contact Minneapolis approach on 118.725.
on 118.725. Minneapolis approach, Sun Country 1906. Good afternoon, flight level 190 for 7,000.
Sun Country 1906, Minneapolis approach. Good afternoon, cleared DQ transition. Expect the ILS runway 30 right approach into Minneapolis.
Cleared geek transition. Expect ILS runway 30 right approach into Minneapolis. Sun Country 1906.
That was a change. 30 right. That puts us at 110.70. And course heading of 301. All right, course settings have been changed. Frequency has been set. We're okay. We got everything set correctly. We still are at a 40, flaps 40 at about 143, but I do need to recalculate here. Oh. What if we recalculate braking to a 3? Big time help. And 148 rev. We're good. All right, we're good. All landing lights are up. got some speed brakes on right now. Just to be sure I get down to speed. There we go. Miles out. Pretty good shape.
Sun Country 1906, descend and maintain 4,000 feet, cleared for the ILS runway 30 right approach via GKU, altimeter 2973.
Descend and maintain 4,000, cleared ILS runway 30 right approach via geek. Altimeter 2973, Sun Country 1906.
Auto brakes are set for 3 right now, and we're making that turn right now. Approach has been activated. Speed brakes are still on right now.
Good afternoon, established on the ILS runway 30 right approach.
Sun Country 1906, Minneapolis Tower, roger, continue approach.
Time. Yeah. Looking good. Looking good.
Sun Country 1906, wind 110 at 5, runway 30 right, cleared to land.
2500.
Runway 30 right, cleared to land. Sun Country 1906.
Prepare the cabin for landing. Set at 3,000. About 1,000 feet per minute currently, but that's going to change. We're right out on our glide path.
$1,000 feet stabilized, Mr. Birch, altitude set.
And there are planes, it looks like, that are landing on the other side. So that's a traffic global thing. I can't fix that.
30 right.
It is. Look at that.
$500. $400.
I don't know what's happening right now. We just had a total meltdown.
$300. $200. $100. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Welcome to Minneapolis. Contact ground on 127.9025.
Minneapolis ground, Sun Country 1906. Good afternoon. Cleared of runway. Ready to taxi to the gate.
Sun Country 1906, Minneapolis ground. Taxi to Terminal 2 Gate 10 via Papa Niner, Papa Mike. Hold short of runway 12 right, then Tango Mike, Mike 2, Charlie 2, Delta. Good day.
Terminal 2, Gate 10, Papa 9, Papa Mike, hold short of runway 12 right, then Tango Mike, Mike 2, Charlie 2, Delta, Sun Country 1906.
Approaching runway 12 left.
I don't know what went wrong on our... Yeah, we have some major issues right now. I don't know what it is. button. Y'all need that. And now we're proceeding to our assigned gate.
Sun Country 1906, cross runway 12 right, then
Gate
continue taxi
2,
to Tango Mike 2,
10.
Charlie 2, Delta.
Cross 12 right, then Tango Mike 2, Charlie 2, Delta, Sun Country 1906.
Approaching runway 12 right.
Sounds great. Can you send me your Cash App info?
Approaching runway 4. Approaching runway 4.
I can steal his spot because it was my assigned spot. Traffic Global took it, so he'll go away. Brake on. Ground services, GPU and chocks. Ground power. Had a good landing. Looks like everything went well on this flight. Okay. And we'll go for the replay. yeah, that would have been a loss if that was real. And it might be a little more entertaining, a little more we'd learn more if I go around on those. But I just accept that Traffic Global is not always in sync with what it needs to be. I mean, I think my flight plan and SimBrief are correct. And, okay.